This is Kathy from Gadgets Top 321, and in today's video I'm taking a look at a pen and pencil set that was sent to me by Modern Fuel. Modern Fuel sent this out at no cost to me, and they just requested some honest feedback, and they asked if I would be willing to make a video review, and I said absolutely. Modern Fuel has been on my radar for a while now. I first learned about them from the YouTube channels Ink Dependence and The Clutch Situation. They both made videos about the Pencil 2.0 when it first came out, and the feature that stood out to me about this pencil was that it had a replaceable internal mechanism. And you can buy replacement mechanisms from Modern Fuel in the three different sizes, the 0.5, the 0.7, and the 0.9, and you can just switch it out in the pencil. And I'd never seen a pencil that, that was possible before, and that the maker made it so easy to do that. So I've been very excited to give this pencil a try, but I've also been a little bit nervous because I'm pretty picky when it comes to my pencils. Now, Mike over at Ink Dependence is more of a pen guy, and he had some good tips to keep in mind when using the roller ball, but I'll get into that a little bit more when I go over this copper bolt action pen. By the way, this is my first copper pen, and I've been pretty excited about it as well. I'm going to begin with the pencil. Modern Fuel packages their writing instruments in black cardboard boxes. The boxes have a magnetic closure and a removable cork interior that holds the accessories in place. The pencil comes with a clip, but it's not installed on the pencil when it arrives. It's in this little section. It also includes 4 replacement erasers as well as the eraser that's in the pencil, a container of HB leads, and a hex wrench for disassembling the pencil. The pencil I received is the stainless steel model, and I was concerned about it being too slippery, but it's not. The finish looks like brushed metal. It's smooth. I don't feel any texture, but it's not slippery at all. And I was glad to see that because I find knurling on a pencil grip to be uncomfortable after prolonged writing. The top edge of the body, it has a little bit of a bevel and it feels nice, but the edges of the knock feel a little bit sharp. It might just be a characteristic of stainless steel because the copper pen doesn't have the beveled edges either, but it doesn't feel sharp at all. Now, the first time I tried to load a piece of the included lead, it wouldn't feed through the pencil, so I tried to clear the jam by pushing a lead through the front of the pencil, but the blockage wouldn't move. So I took the pencil apart for the first time. There's an O-ring here inside the 2 front halves of the mechanism to keep it from coming loose too easily. And there's also an O-ring up here in the cone for the same reason. Now, when I took the pencil apart the first time, I just opened up the clutch a little bit and there was a little piece of lead stuck in there that just fell out. And when I reassembled the pencil and loaded a lead in, it's worked great ever since. And I didn't mention the clutch and all the parts of the mechanism are metal. It looks like they're brass. There's no plastic parts. And another one of the features of the Modern Fuel pencil, it's machined so that the cone and the pencil mate together perfectly and you don't see the seam at all. The tool just keeps the mechanism, the internal mechanism, from spinning when you screw the eraser holder onto it. When I checked the website just before making this video, the eraser plug is an optional accessory that you can buy separately, but at the time I checked the website, I think you could get a free eraser plug, which is just a metal piece. If you don't want to have an actual eraser in there, you can plug it with a metal piece. I'm going to do a writing sample in my Rhodia ice pad. This is my favorite paper to use when writing with pencils. And I'm going to let you hear the mechanism. It's a very soft click, but it feels very smooth. The included HB lead is nice, but I'll probably be switching out to 2B after this review. This is my favorite lead to use in mechanical pencils. It just, 2B lead just writes a little darker, and I don't feel like I have to press as hard on the page. I'm not an eraser connoisseur, but it gets the job done. Usually, if I have the option, I will get a fixed tip pencil over a sliding sleeve because I dislike tip rattle. But I'm happy to say that that hasn't been a problem for this pencil. It feels nice and solid. When waiting for this Modern Fuel pencil to arrive, I looked up the measurements and compared it to some of the pencils I already own. I discovered that the Modern Fuel pencil weighed about twice as much as the other drafting pencils in my collection. And it weighs about 4 times as much as my other mechanical pencils. As soon as it arrived, I started writing with it, and I was impressed. The diameter is just right. It's just large enough that it doesn't dig into my finger as bad as my other drafting pencils would, and it was more comfortable writing for longer periods than those drafting pencils. And the weight of the pencil allows me to hold it with a looser grip and still get a nice bold line. When I'm writing with my lighter weight mechanical pencils, the ones that have plastic bodies, even though the grip section is nice and large and doesn't dig into my finger, the pencil is so light that I find myself having to grip harder to be able to press in the lead into the page to get a line that's dark enough to suit me. I'm pretty pleased with the Modern Fuel Pencil 2.0. The bolt action pen is even simpler in construction than the pencil. It includes a tool for loosening the bolt and for adjusting the set screw, but I haven't had to use it. I've been able to remove the bolt and adjust the set screw by hand. When I received my copper pen, It was bright and shiny like a new penny, but within a day of using it, it started to develop a patina. At first, it just looked dirty, but after using it for a couple weeks, it looks better. And I'm looking forward to it developing a full patina and looking more brown like a used penny. The pen weighs 40 grams, which is 4 grams lighter than the pencil, but the difference isn't noticeable. However, the copper does have a slight texture. It's not rough or unpleasant, but it is noticeable compared to how smooth the steel pencil was. All the edges of the pen feel nice, but the edges of the bolt were a little rough and uncomfortable when I operated the pen. So I just used a metal fingernail file to knock down those rough edges. And now it's very enjoyable to operate. The bolt action pens come with a Pilot 0.7 gel refill, but it can be adjusted to accept a wide variety of refill types. I have a Schmidt Refill P900. This is a ballpoint refill, and if I want to switch over to it, I have to switch springs as well. I have to use the skinnier spring with the ballpoint refill, and I also had to switch to a longer set screw. If you need to use a refill that's even shorter than this one, there's an adapter that can increase the length of the set screw even longer. One of the things I really like about this pen, in addition to be able to use virtually any kind of pen refill, is that you can adjust the set screw to fine-tune the amount of the refill tip that extends from the pen. So you can adjust it to suit your taste. I've noticed on other reviews that the cone of the bolt action pen doesn't seem to be removable like the pencil, so I believe the bolt action pen body is all one piece of metal. The pen is well balanced when writing, and when I'm using a gel refill, I'm not having to exert much force on the paper. But if I do switch to a ballpoint refill, again, like with the pencil, that weight of the pen helps me not have to press as hard on the paper. One of the things that Mike Matteson said over at Ink Dependence is that if you're going to be carrying a pen like this, a retractable tip pen in your pocket, you don't really want to use a gel refill or a rollerball refill. You're better off using the ballpoint, because if a little fiber from your pants pocket gets up in the tip, it will wick that ink out. And a ballpoint, since it's a thicker ink, you won't have to worry about that. I like this pen and pencil set, and the story behind it is cool. Andrew Sanderson is the founder of Modern Fuel, and he didn't like any of the pencils that were available, and I can relate to that. So he designed a pencil to suit him, and he designed it to be versatile. So I can get one of these pencils in a material and a lead size that suits me as well. And he's applied that same philosophy to a bolt action pen. And again, I think that's pretty cool. I've always wanted a copper pen or pencil, and now that I have one, I really do like it. But of the two, I have to say my favorite is the stainless steel. I like that feel. I like how smooth it is, but it's not slippery. I'm used to metal pens and pencils feeling slippery, like anything that's anodized aluminum or chrome plated. I can't hardly use it. It's just slippery and uncomfortable, but I really like the feel of this raw stainless steel. And as far as pens go, I love the versatility of this. I like that you can use it as a gel pen. The Pilot G2 refill is my favorite refill, but I like having the option to switch over to a ballpoint if I want to be able to carry it in my pocket. Again, I want to thank Modern Fuel for sending this to me and allowing me to try their writing instruments. These are truly luxury writing instruments, and I'm happy that I got to give them a try. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.